connected paradigm is a brand new space. So I'll just give you a little primer on paradigms, and pardon me because I know all of you are experts in paradigms. God knows we have lived through a few this last 6 8 months. But what is a paradigm? And probably Joel Barker, in the 90s wrote talked a lot about paradigm, and I think I'm going to borrow from him. So a paradigm is nothing but a set of rules, procedures, routines, a model, a pattern, which defines two things. Number one, it describes the edges, the boundaries of the world that you're engaged with. And number two, it tells you how you can be successful in the world in problem solving using the rules of that world. All right. So what a paradigm does is that it sets up a bunch of your assumptions. It says, okay, I believe that XYZ. Moment you do that, and that's why that little picture out there, I hope you can see it. Moment you have assumptions, what those assumptions do is that they get you to expect something. So that poor sod is jumping off a stool, and his expectation is that those guys behind them are going to hold them. All right. Now, one of the big things with paradigms, is that it makes it very, 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 very hard to see stuff and accept disconfirming data. Because anything that falls outside the paradigm, your mind just shuts to it. That is the paradigm effect. So you're just unable to even consider stuff that is right there in front of your face, but that doesn't stick with your paradigm's rules. And when the paradigm effect gets baked in, you have what is called paradigm paralysis, which is that you're just not able to change. You can smell the coffee, you can hear the kettle boiling, your stomach's rumbling, but you still can't get there. All right. One of the big problems with paradigms is because as paradigms start changing and the people in those paradigms, don't change, problems start accumulating. Why? Because these are problems that the paradigms rule able to tackle. These are what are called intractable problems. Over to the I-connected paradigm.
So if you looked at the paradigm that it was what we call the industrial paradigm. And that industrial paradigm was there for many, many, many years. And that's a paradigm was beautiful. And I've worked, and we've worked in large multinationals who believed that vertical integration, owning the value chain, these were all the sources of competitive advantage. And so this paradigm existed for a long time. Bureaucracy is the killer app. There's process, there's best practice, all of those sorts of things, operational manual. We've all been in organizations that have them. That was the paradigm. But when we talk about the I-connected paradigm, the paradigm we're in today, now today's world, there is ubiquitous connections. There's radical relatedness and unbounded collaboration, which has led to the rise of the individual. So today's inhabitant of today's world, this I-connected world, is the digital native. We have vibrant online communities. It's a renaissance on amateurism. So it's a very different world. So when you look at some of the brands that have actually not been able to make it, the Sonys, the Kodaks, the Nokias. 10 years ago, Nokia was worth 10 times what it's worth today. So what happened? It's not that they didn't have resources. It's just that they were playing with the old rules when the rules had actually changed. So when you've got the paradigm shift your need to adapt is very important. It's very important that you understand that the rules have changed, because it's not resources that drive success when there's a paradigm shift, it's resourcefulness. So when you look at the I-connected paradigm, it is a very, very different paradigm. And what we're going to talk about in a minute is what are the characteristics and therefore the challenges that it brings.